Hey, Marcus Washington, MTC Media with my takeaways from last night's OKC 111-104 Game 4 win, um, tying up the series at 2. And I'm telling you, if Indiana does not win this series, they're going to rue the Game 4 loss as much of if OKC doesn't win this series, they're going to rue the Game 1 loss. Last night was one of those things. One of my biggest takeaways from last night was the fact that they ramped up SGA as opposed to having them get started from the beginning. If you look at his shooting by quarter and even his free throws by quarter, you'll see a ramp up that goes from quarter one, where he has only five attempts from the field, only one 3-point attempt, and he doesn't have any free throw attempts. Now, that doesn't mean that he didn't think he was fouled going to the basket, whatever the case may be, but he kind of lived in the midi. Only two of those attempts were truly in the paint. In quarter two is a little bit different. 4 for 6 from the field. He got 8 points, again, no free throws, and 4 of his 6 attempts were in the paint. In the third quarter, he is 3 for 7 from the field. Finally gets to attempt a free throw. He was 2 for 2 from the free throw line, and once again, you can say it's 3 of the 7 were in the paint. You can also argue that it's 4 of 7. One is on the borderline, but then the other three are definitely middies. No 3-point attempts, and nothing even coming close to the 3-point line. Everything was closer to the basket. It was mid range. It was mid range on sale. That's what he did, and then in the fourth quarter, this is when you see SGA being SGA. It's like he saved it, and he was 3 for 6 from the field, 1 for 3 from three. This time around, 8 free throw attempts, and now his what I like to call, your shot chart. Sometimes I call it your ink blot. Now it's more spread. He has 2 shots in the lane. One traditional midi, which was a baseline midi that he made, and three-point attempts. So everything was spread. And then, of course, the 8 free throw attempts, which also indicates a certain aggression going to the basket because he wasn't fouled on any of the threes. And so there's a certain aggression going to the basket. He did get a couple of free throws I think he took both of them when they had the foul before the inbounds. I know he took the last one. I think he took both of them. I'm going to double check on that. But it was a constant ramp up because Indiana has been wearing him down the way that they wore down Jalen Brunson. And, this is another discussion for another time, but it's why the Knicks need to take a serious, serious look at what they're going to do philosophically next year. Because as SGA is finding out in this series, and as the Knicks found out in their series, with the depth that is on benches now in the league, throwing 3 and 4 guys at one guy is not uncommon. And sure, every team can't do it as efficient as the Pacers have done it, but this is a copycat league. If you don't think that people, on a random Wednesday night in December aren't going to throw 3 or 4 guys at Jalen Brunson, aren't going to throw 3 or 4 guys at SGA, you're wrong. Because every team in the NBA is taking notes on how they can attack these guys. And a lot of it's going to be turning their habitual dribbling into a negative, using that to wear them down. So that was my first takeaway from it. And, the second takeaway really was the turnovers. It says here that, let's see, turnovers, OKC had 16 that led to 23 points for Indiana. Indiana had 16 that led the 25 points for OKC. OKC's turnovers are like mind-numbing. They are guys who are dribbling and the ball is getting disconnected from their bodies. So they're dribbling and now it's wide out. So someone's poking from behind or someone's poking from in front. It's dribbling the ball. I think Jalen Williams twice dribbled the ball just simply off his knee in the open court. Maybe Lou Dort did it once and Williams did it once, or Williams did it twice, and it rolls out of bounds. These just aren't forced turnovers. You know in the half court that if it's SGA or someone like that, that there's going to be someone in the gap. There's always going to be someone in the gap. That's the way they're playing. That's the way they're playing this, because now you're dribbling into gap help, which in the NBA usually means that you have two. And if you're in the middle of the floor and you have two, if they have any length on it or as aggressive as they've allowed both teams to play in the playoffs and in the NBA finals, all these little bumps and maybe little hacks and stuff like that just aren't getting called. Now, maybe in the regular season got called. They're not getting called now. So a lot of times that also leads to the turnover. Jalen Williams had 4 turnovers last night by himself. And you just can't keep. Oklahoma City can't keep playing that way, because how Indiana gets it out so freaking quick and how Indiana just goes with it. You just cannot do that. Last but not least was the takeaway for me on the Oklahoma City side. Oklahoma City won a game in the NBA Finals, and you look at the 3-point component. First and foremost, they only made 3. Second of all, they only attempted 17. And I used the word only. Attempted 17. So that is something that we have seen throughout these playoffs. Such a big criticism of the only thing they do is shoot threes. And the truth of the matter is like, if you've watched the playoffs with certain teams, and if you've watched this, that hasn't been the case. Now, last night, and I'll go back to double check this, I think this was the highest percentage of 3-point attempts by the Pacers. They almost attempted 50% of their shots from threes. And I think that is the highest, I think that's the highest attempt percentage they've had. We haven't really seen this in this series. And I'm trying to go back to the fourth quarter. They attempted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the fourth. So 8 of their 18 shot attempts in the fourth were threes, which, in a game like that, I'm trying to see what quarter. They had 9. So 17 3-point attempts came in the second half. And they had 11 in the second quarter. And 19 came in the first half. I wouldn't be shocked if the 3-point attempt percentage for Indiana drops in Game 5. That wouldn't shock me whatsoever. So those are my takeaways from last night's game. 2-2. It should be an exciting one. Best of 3 series left. It's Marcus Watson, MTC Media.